one of the things that we learned or reinforced was the diversity of background and experience brought by an international grouping of like-minded nations is incredibly powerful. As we get into the littoral domain more and more, moving in closer ashore, taking a look at what it takes for anti-piracy, MEO operations, those sort of things, being able to use the experience across the multinational partners, taking best practices, putting it together is very, very powerful. I think we've always known that, but again, when you get a very diverse command structure and you put that into the exercise as a result of that, that deep breadth of knowledge that you have because of the diversity in that structure, it makes a big difference, and I think was a big force multiplier and something reinforced throughout our lessons learned. Well, I'm going to drag General Broadmeadow up here to do that. I'll tell you, I had the opportunity to get out and take a look at LOE-4, which is the Enhanced Company Operations. I was very impressed, but let me turn over to the General for more details.
Thanks for that question. The limited objective experiment for our Enhanced Company Operations, I won't say it was a success across the board, because that's not why you experiment, but we learned some very, very important things from it. The Admiral had mentioned command and control was a key part of this. We were able to experiment with some true cutting-edge technology and command and control capabilities. As you take a smaller force, spread it over a wider area, you can imagine the command and control issues that you're going to have. Just the ability to communicate between Marines in a dispersed area like that. There were many other issues that came out. We had some very good successes in that. So, specifically in a lot of the robotics and the radios that we were using. I don't want to steal too much of our warfighting lab's analysis of this, but it did demonstrate to us some issues, particularly in logistics. When you take a force like that and spread it out, we're going to have to think through some of these logistics issues that are attendant to that. But across the board, I think we'd we would probably call it a success because it identified areas that we're good at, but it also identified some areas where we're going to have to work if we go to this type of advanced technology.
And let me just jump in and add, as I take a look at it as a naval officer, it offers opportunity for greater cooperation between Navy and Marines and how we can handle some of those or alleviate some of the logistics challenges that were identified. And so again, developing that teamwork to a level that we haven't seen in the last decade is very, very important. I think we're going to make great strides as a result of LOE-4.
Time for one last question. Sure. All right, we'll do two. So go ahead.
It's okay. Actually, so far we don't have a next steps. You told me next RIMPAC 2012. So now so far we don't have a plan for the next RIMPAC. We need to bring back this achievement back to my headquarters and discussing how to do. But my opportunity, my personal opinions, we need to continue to discussing about which you call the no-combat exercise and non-combatant military operations. So what we can do to contribute to international peace and stability. So, and this efforts to not only the Japan, maybe the multinational individual countries has some political issues, something. So we need to discuss about these things with our friend of the U.S. Navy. So I think it makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, let me field that one. We certainly are going to see more of that. You know, the question is, are we going to get back to the roots between Navy and Marine Corps? I'll tell you, both our Chief of Naval Operations and Commandant of the Marine Corps have directed that we do that. I have, on the West Coast, very actively pursued that in the last year as 3rd Fleet. I've worked considerably with Lieutenant General Dunford, who is my counterpart up at Pendleton, just up the road. We will continue to do that. We'll work with the folks in Hawaii out here and across all elements of the Marine Corps in the Pacific. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that, and it's back to the basics, that Marine-Navy integration, and we are clearly in support of both of our service chiefs back in Washington in those comments.